Printable Science presents the best way to remove labels from bottles and jars. In an upcoming Printable Science project, we're going to be using some of the larger soda pop bottles, and it'll look much better if we remove the label that these comes with. So we Googled and searched YouTube, and there's over 8 million hits on Google and about 5,000 on YouTube. And we spent a bit of time, well, we ended up spending a lot of time trying to figure out one that we could recommend to you. What we found were some fairly entertaining answers that seemed to suggest you're cooking something in the kitchen rather than in the shop. Everything from boiling water, peanut butter, smooth, not crunchy, and toothpaste. Eventually we just gave up. And so here we are, yet another video on how to remove labels that the world doesn't need, but at least we know this method works, and if you're a follower of Printable Science, we can recommend it to you. And if for some reason it doesn't work, well then at least you know who to complain to. There are two basic approaches to removing a label, through abrasion or by the use of a solvent. Peanut butter, baking soda, and toothpaste are taking the abrasion approach to the removal, but the solvent method is much cleaner and effective, particularly if you're removing labels from plastic bottles. You see, because the problem with the abrasion method with plastic is that it's difficult to remove the glue residue of the label without scratching up the plastic. It can be done, but then you usually have to spend a fair bit of time buffing and polishing up the area you abraded in getting the label off. So the solvent approach makes a lot more sense, but what solvent to use? Well, at Printable Science, we took the Thomas Edison approach to scientific research and went out and bought every solvent we could reasonably get our hands on. Unfortunately, these days you can't get a hold of really effective solvents like carbon tetrachloride anymore because they're just too dangerous in the context of a society that thinks swallowing Tide detergent pods is fun. Fortunately, there are at least two effective solutions out there that are relatively easy to obtain and get the job done quickly and easy. Of course, there's no guarantee that this will work with everything. Manufacturers could change the formulation of their glue at any time. But of the 20 or so solvents we tried, the two we settled on worked every time with every label we tried. The quick answer is naphtha and toluene, which you should be able to pick up at your local box hardware store. If you can't find naphtha in a can labeled naphtha, look for camping stove fuel. Now, naphtha and toluene are petroleum distillates like gasoline or kerosene, and the fact that naphtha is used as a fuel for cooking stoves should of course be a heads up that these liquids are flammable. And being a mixture of aromatic hydrocarbons, it's also an indicator that it'll probably lead to skin irritation or a rash if you get any on your skin. So wear gloves. And keep in mind that it's undoubtedly a poison and probably carcinogenic as well, so definitely don't swallow it. And use it outdoors or in a well-ventilated area and or with appropriately rated mask. So having said that, let me take care of getting garbed up for safety's sake. Well, here we go. Start by removing as much of the old label as possible. When that's done, pour some of the solvent onto a paper towel and wet the patches of the adhesive that remain on the bottle or jar. Give that a few seconds to set up. It should soften up the adhesive fairly quickly. You can then wipe the bottle with the same towel, and the dissolved gum will be wiped up with the towel as you move it about. With the remaining bits of the label and almost all of the adhesive removed, just wet another clean paper towel with naphtha and go over the entire bottle. that's done, one more dry paper towel wiped over the entire surface will remove any residue that remains, and you're done. Thanks for watching, and we hope that this video has been of use to you and that you find that the naphtha or toluene solvent approach to label removal far superior to abrasion methods with peanut butter, olive oil, toothpaste, and God knows what else. Please leave comments and questions below. If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button. You can help us by showing your support by clicking on the subscribe button down below, and you may want to click the notify bell as well. And please consider supporting Printable Science on Patreon using the link supplied below. Being a Patreon supporter provides you with lots of extras and additional information, as well as going a long way to defray the cost of making these files and videos. Remember, you can download STL files for your 3D printer for our many projects directly from our website. The latest files and a discussion board on removing bottle and jar labels are available at the PrintableScience.com website, where all the science that fits, we print.